Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm your host for tonight's show, Rockin' Robbie Bills, and tonight on PCP Movie Night, we are exploring the true reason for the season. It is Christmas time, and I don't know what Christmas is, but Christmas time is here. But as we try to uncover the true meaning of Christmas, I swear it has something to do with Jean-Claude Van Damme. So welcome to the second week of Van Damme December, and tonight we're talking about Timecop, which may surprise a lot of people, but this is the biggest movie as far as the box office receipts go for Van Damme's career. This movie was huge. I remember when it came out in 1994, right before Street Fighter. This was probably like the biggest year of Van Damme's career, and all in the midst of an alleged cocaine addiction. But man, that's Belgian's ass right there. Speaking of an ass, it's Jelani. What is up, my man? How you doing?
Hey, Station. Man, I'm so excited.
How long you been trying to get this movie on this show,
It's been
man?
almost 2 years, man, I think. We've tried 2 separate polls, and it just no one wanted to watch Timecop. I'm like, why? It's Timecop. It's awesome. And tonight, you'll see why. You'll see.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Also, speaking of awesome, and you'll find out why tonight, it's Verno from Blood Splatter Chatter. What is up, my man?
What up, my brother? Happy to be here. I love all the emphasis you do on the Van Damme-ness, so I'm happy to be part of it again.
Hell yeah. Van Damme it, man. That's what we're here to do. You know what I'm saying? Van Damme's been nice to us, so we're going to be nice to him. That's what we do. We're nice to everybody who's nice to us, except for the next panelist, which is Stu from Dr. Doom's fan club. What's up, you piece of shit? How you doing?
You're on brand as usual. I'm glad you stay true, bro.
Clip it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go. Throw it around,
I'm
people.
send that to Marcus.
Happy to be here with you fellas, celebrating the muscles from Brussels. Yeah, Station.
Hell yeah, man. Speaking of muscles, oh my goodness. This dude loves muscles. I actually don't know what this dude thinks about shellfish, but this dude's got some muscles. It's John Spiliotopoulos. What is up, my man?
Whoa! I am ready to slip through time with Van Damme's ass. Let's go!
Oh, wow.
You know, there's a lot of crossover between comic book YouTube and wrestling, but goddamn, Castle, you really know what you're doing there, don't you, man? You're
Had a little. Where's Eric from 910?
Oh yeah, no, Eric's busy right now. He's re-upping. He's re-upping.
He's my dealer. Come on, man.
I'll tell you what.
Okay!
If the PCP Excitable crew, right? If we were from some of the best eras of wrestling, this man would be our ravishing Rick Rude. It's Fable. What is up, my man?
Station, y'all. What's going on?
You better share that shit.
Pass it through. Y'all need to go.
Super excited to have you here, Fable.
Clip it.
Hell yeah.
Holy shit.
All right. Well, y'all know that we pretty much max out the panels here at 6 people, but this movie, I'm going to tell you, Verno, do you remember when we were doing Don't Torture a Duckling and we couldn't get anybody to help their asses out? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we're breaking the rule tonight just for Van Damme because that's how awesome it is. So, of course, we got Brooks here. What's up, my man?
What's up?
Station, bro.
In a class of your own, man. Nobody else can stand on the same tier as you, which is ass bottom tier, but still, like, you know.
He needs all that room for the splits that he's going to be doing down there.
Yes, that's right. Oh, dude, if I would have thought about it,
now.
imagine if we would have put like
Legs.
Today I was jumping up on my kitchen counters, like doing the splits, just practicing.
Why not, man? I mean, as one does. All right.
You don't want to get electrocuted by the fucking
Yeah,
taser in the water and shit, dude. You got to.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Or protect your feet.
5,000 volts, motherfucker. Whatever. All right, let's talk about this. Timecop is a 1994 science fiction film based on a Dark Horse comic that was created by Mike Richardson and Mark Verheiden. Mike Richardson, of course, is the founder of Dark Horse. Now, it wasn't a comic book that was then adapted into the movie. It was a movie comic book concept at the same time. In fact, it was touted as being this like big multimedia kind of event, right? And I did say that it was the biggest movie of Van Damme's career, box office wise. It made $101.6 million on a $27 million budget, but we're talking about 1994 money. And we were all around for that. So like, we know what that means, man. That like to hit over 100 million, that used to be a very, very big deal, right? It's directed by Peter Hyams, who also did Outland, the science fiction film with Sean Connery. And he also did one of my favorite underappreciated movie sequels that should have never been made, but there is a book to kind of base it on, but that was 2010, The Year We Make Contact, which was a sequel to 2001, A Space Odyssey. So I don't know. I haven't seen Timecop in forever. Here's my copy of it. I got it right there on VHS. I watched it on Amazon Prime, though. I'm gonna break the kayfabe there. I did not watch it on VHS. I wanted to see the glorious splits in the widescreen. You know, you can't just you can't regulate that just down to just the full frame. So I haven't seen this movie since it first released. I mean, I'll be honest with you, there's a piece inside of me. Y'all know me. I'm a huge Van Damme nut. More so now that Van Damme's been really good for PCP, right? But I'm finding myself becoming a huge fan. I mean, like Bloodsport, I was a fan of when I was a kid, Kickboxer, Street Fighter, Timecop. There's something inside of me where I'm like, oh, I don't really like the mullet Van Damme movies. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got a few of them, right? Where what's the one where he's got, is it Hard Target? Where he's got like, oh my God, that dude's like permed his mullet or some shit, dude. Like, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. We'll eventually get there. So I haven't seen this movie since then, and it's got the reputation. Of course, a lot of people like it. Every time we bring it up for one of our Van Damme polls or something, right, Jelani? Everybody talks about how much they love it, but they never voted in. They never voted in.
It's bull crap.
But on this rewatch, and I think I only think I've seen this movie once, right? So I didn't really remember too much about it. I remembered that there was two Van Dammes. I remembered the mullet, and I remembered Mia Sara in it. But like Brooks was telling me, he's like, oh yeah, there's some nice like sex in this movie. And I was like, really? I don't remember that, right?
Boobies.
Yeah, there's some boobies, man. Awesome, so man. On my rewatch, really enjoyed this film. It's got some issues. It's got some major issues. Its sense of time travel makes no fucking sense. Oh, the future hasn't happened yet, so we can't go back to it. So then why does the house blow up at the beginning of the fucking film?
Bro, so I jumped. Like when I was like, what is going on right now? Yeah.
So it's got some wonky kind of physics that is playing with time travel, but most time travel movies can do that. I do think that Van Damme is giving a very earnest and emotive performance here. I don't think there's a lot to the movie as far as the script goes and the themes and all that kind of stuff. But it's got some great action. Van Damme looks this is some of the best he's looked in one of these movies. He's getting bigger. His ass is getting very, very chunky. And I'm loving it, right? He's got cool moments. He's got great one-liner quips. Yeah. An amazing fucking cheesy 90s villain in this movie, man. I love this fake Al Pacino dude that they got playing this dude. Yeah. But I really like the movie. I thought it was fun. It's not the best movie, but it's more than watchable. It's got some of the effects still hold up. At the end, it gets a little weird when they like the villains touch each other and they like, that's a little odd looking, but you know what? Actually, that looks almost better than Blade, and Blade was like 4 years later. Shit. Anyway, special effects are decent enough, especially when he starts warping through things, but I liked everything about this movie except for the fucking cars. Like, what is that? I don't know what's up with the cars in this movie. It's like they got that one way off. But I don't know. I really do like this movie, and it's definitely one that I got to find and get a hold of on Blu-ray. I just think, honestly, I need the whole Van Damme library at this point because let's do it. What about you, Jelani? What do you think overall about Timecop?
Dude, you already know my thoughts. I love this movie. I don't give a crap. This ain't Funhouse in any way, shape, or form. This is one of these movies where I adore it. Like, I've seen it probably. This is probably my 5th time seeing it. I'd say in my lifetime, I probably need to watch it more because it is awesome. I love the action in this. I love the explosions. I love the kicks. I love Van Damme. How cool that man is in this movie. The concept of two objects can't occupy the same space. I love that concept. I love how Ron Silver melts It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen as a kid because I didn't see this in the theater. I watched this on HBO. When I first, my parents had HBO and Showtime and Cinemax and all the stuff. So I watched all the movies when I could, and it was on. I know it was on HBO, and I watched this like a ton of times. I couldn't wait to watch the Time Cop, and it's one of these movies that like it's already nostalgia for me. I was a freshman. I think I was a freshman in high school. Right before this came out, I was a freshman in '94. In 2000, going to the future is weird because the cars look stupid. The weapons are kind of dumb looking. I don't like the whatever that thing was. I have no clue what those guns were. The taser was cool. I will say that. But yeah, it's little aspects of this movie that I remember and that I haven't watched it in probably like 5 years, maybe 5 or 6 years. And watching it again, it brings back the same memories. It brings back the same kind of nostalgia. It's the same kind of action-packed thrill ride that you want. It's science fiction. I don't like the time travel. I don't like how they do it, except the Vollmer twins. Which that's still in the movie. It's like, it's the Vollmer twins. So you get that concept. But man, and Mia Sarah, good God. That woman, oh, she can get it now. Get it now. It's just one of them. She's one of those characters. She was down the whole time. I expected him to come in the future, back to the future. The kid is there, but she's like, I've remarried. It's someone else. She got to leave Van Damme, but why would you leave Van Damme with an ass like that? Seriously. Why'd you leave it?
Because he still got that mullet in 2004. That's why.
That's right. That wicked mullet, too, man. I thought that'd be like a sadness mullet. Now I got to get a nose to get this cut. So, I don't know. It just, and this is the weird part for this movie, real quick. He goes, he saves the future. He gets his wife back. He's got a kid. He doesn't remember any of this kid's life. He doesn't know this kid's name. He done walked in like, there's this child. I haven't been teaching him martial arts at all.
That's why he's shedding that tear at the end of the movie when he hugs him, because he's like, I have no idea who the fuck this kid is. He's gonna find out he's been a deadbeat dad this whole fucking time.
Next time you see him, he's on the Jerry Springer show.
Yes.
You are not the father.
Not the father. Oh, that would have been better if like he had impregnated Mia Sarah as the future him. What concept that would have been. That would have been pretty cool for me. I don't know.
How you want to Kyle Reese this shit? Is that what you're trying to do, man?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but it's himself. It's like Fry and Futurama where he's his own grandfather. I don't know. It's weird. I think it's awesome. But yeah, love this movie. The time travel concept is weird to me, but it's still a time movie about this life. That's it. I know there's tons of us, but I love this movie.
What about you, Verno? What do you think overall, man?
My man, I'll be just with you. I had not seen nor thought of this movie like since it came out, but I remember it being a big deal. Like a big deal. In 1994, I was telling you a little bit about it. This was like modern Van Damme. You know what I mean? We're not just kickboxing. We're not just blood sport anymore. Like it's futuristic time travel. Right. He's got the mullet. But I remember the opening scene. I remember that like I feel like it was in the trailer and it being kind of a big deal. Like, whoa, it was so cool. And like, I don't know. So that still sticks with me. I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's definitely got its downsides, and you hit on it, Julie. I think the biggest one is its use of time travel. Like I know everybody hates a remake, but this is ripe for a remake. Like I don't know, you get another chance at 2, maybe 3 or 4 Van Dammes, and you could do a remake where you tighten this up a lot. You actually why didn't they go back to more cool places? Like just the Wild West. You could have went Japan. You could have done. It's limitless what they could have done. They barely scratched the surface of what the possibility is. But this show has really helped me realize how much I love Van Damme. and how much I loved him when I was a kid, man. I said the same thing about Freddy Krueger. I could be watching a bad nightmare movie, but when he comes on screen, it's very exciting still. And he could take a bad movie and he make it good, and he could take a good movie like Bloodsport and he could make it a 5. We all gave it a 5. Is that a 5? No, but he made it a 5. Like he can do that. And this one, I was gonna say that's kind of the case with this one, but not really. Like this is kind of middle of the road for the era for action. Maybe a little bit better than middle of the road, a little bit better. But I looked at like what came out in '94, and you've got True Lies and Speed. And then like The Crow, that's a different thing. But you know what I mean? That's the upper echelon for me. And like just looking at those, this is clearly like a step or two down from it. But the last thing I'll say for this is like the action is really good, but I don't need Van Damme with a gun. You know what I mean? Unless he's kicking with the gun. So anytime he's shooting, I would rather see him kicking. So that's why my favorite
what if
scene
that was this fucking whole shtick in this movie is that he fires his gun with his fucking foot. Like,
his ankles and like shoots with his kicks.
Sign me up. Sign me up. But I enjoyed it quite a bit. I was kind of hoping like it would blow me away, but it didn't quite do that. But I'm very glad that I watched it. And I did get a chance to squeeze this bad boy in twice this week.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, Stu, what about you, man? Timecop, what you thinking?
Yeah, just to echo what y'all both said, Verno and Robbie. This was my first rewatch since basically as a kid. It's been that long, and Vern, I echo what you said about the first scene, man. Like that one stuck in my head so strong. I just love the dialogue back and forth, and I thought that was such a great intro. But yeah, the some of the story jumps and these plot holes are jarring, right? Like I said, the scene in the house, like everybody's inside the house. And he runs and it blows up, and it's just like, what in the fuck is happening? So, like, it's so wild, but I don't know. You let go and go with the flow a little bit, and it's really enjoyable. I really think they figured out the formula at this point with Van Damme, as far as like the right mix of acting and action. They got all the split shots, all the money split shots in that they needed to. Found creative ways to incorporate that. And Mia Sara, man. Like that was what drew me in as a kid. This was a scene we wanted in Ferris Bueller, but we never got, right? So like early on. So that was I definitely like the nostalgia on that was high. But yeah, I don't know. I'm mixed on it. It's great in some parts as far as like, you know, the Van Damme-ness of it all, but I don't know. The story jumps and like what you guys said, the missed opportunity with the time traveling leaves a lot to be desired. So,
hell yeah! This is the third movie, by the way. I think we've covered with Mia Sara in it. We've done Legend and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and so this completes our Mia Sara trilogy right here. But it doesn't complete the saga of Van Damme. Speaking of sagas, what about you, John? What are you thinking about Timecop?
I have 2 words. Awesome. That's what I'm saying. This movie was awesome. I saw this movie in the theaters like twice, I do believe. And it's one of the movies that I go back to because this movie really put Van Damme on the map as not just a karate guy and everything like that. It was really action and at the time, the special effects, the time warping, you know, with that cleared, you know, like bubble and everything. That was so cool. You know, yeah, the storyline has a lot of holes, but who gives a shit? Who does? Who gives a shit? You know, the one thing that threw me for the loop is that Van Damme's boss, what's his name? Brian McGilly or something like that.
Bruce McGill.
Bruce. Okay. He always plays the bad guy. So I was waiting the whole time for him to double cross. You know? And he didn't. You know, but oh man, this movie, I didn't like the bad guys that much with the freaking hair, and I don't know what the hell.
That's what everybody's hair looked like in 2004, though, John. Don't you remember?
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Coiffed look. Yeah.
But yeah, you finally got Van Damme in at that time, not too expensive, but an expensive movie, and you can see how he can shine. you know, because I think right before this, I mean, he was really on his way. I think Universal Soldier
Yeah.
came out before, which was phenomenal. But and then and then I enjoy Sudden Death. I know that came after. A lot of people are like, I enjoy
Sudden Death is great,
I
man.
think that's his favorite.
That's the hockey one,
That's-
right?
Yes, they
Yeah.
did this back to
I've
back.
seen
The
that.
same director did it, and so he was definitely, like Verno said, this was his sweet spot. And unfortunately, I think after this, it started going down
Yeah.
a little bit, which I'm
What's
still.
okay?
Yeah, it was,
Universal Soldier, that's his second highest grossing movie. So it was kind of right. I think that was 93. So he was crushing it.
And then Hard Target came at, I think, here soon, or it was before. I can't remember. But that movie was huge at the time because of John Woo. And he was hot at that time. But yeah, man, Van Damme could do no wrong in this movie. It was freaking awesome.
Hell yeah. What about you, Fable? What do you think about Timecop?
Oh, the glorious plot holes, man. This movie starts with a fucking paradox. This movie's awesome. I remember this being a huge deal, man. I don't know if you guys ever used to watch Entertainment Tonight.
Yeah.
But I used to love Entertainment Tonight. And I remember them doing a whole special about this movie, like behind the scenes and it being the next big thing. And I was so excited because I'm like Jelani. I love time travel movies, man. I that's my bag. And I got freaking Back to the Future 2 and 3 in 90. Then I get Terminator 2 with the Swartz in 92. Then we get Van Damme in 94. I'm like, damn, man, it was a good time to be alive.
Eating good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But I mean, look, it's not the greatest script in the world. It's not the greatest acting in the world. It doesn't have the greatest special effects in the world. And yes, those cars look like shit.
Yeah, they do.
They're terrible.
They must have just bought those from another fucking movie or something.
Yeah.
They were like, cannon's closed down, man. Did they still got some shit in that garage back there, man?
And this has
Let's
probably
put more
the
stuff
worst
on.
time travel ever. Like, where does the fucking car go? When they
Yeah,
fucking
bro.
take off?
It's so wild.
And they still
The
come back and
logistics
they
on that
still
is
come
so
back.
wild. Yeah. I love how he pulls back into the station. It's like, all right.
Yeah, they come back in the car. Where's the car? Where the hell?
It just goes. It just disappears. And
But
then
that
when you
whole-
come back, it's like you never left the car.
Yeah, how the
I
hell
don't
did
know.
that
It was weird.
But
That was weird.
all that being said, it has that great 90s action, those great 90s quips, those fucking over the top 90s. Like, this guy's like Hans Gruber's brother-in-law or something like that.
I thought that too, dude.
I mean, he's such an asshole. He's the perfect asshole. They
It's so
freaking
true.
casted him so well. The quips, everything. I love when they shoot the guy through the nuts. You know what I mean? Like from the bottom.
Yeah.
It's like, this
Yeah.
is crazy. So yeah, I'm
Thanks
gonna
for the
echo
advice,
with
pal.
I'll echo what John said. This movie's okay, but when you add Van Damme, it turns it up, man. I love it.
Hell yeah. Speaking of turning it up, Brooks, turn it up. What do you think about Timecop?
I like this movie a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's a great mix of Jean-Claude with a little science fiction in there. I think story-wise, I think it's better than Double Impact. I think a little, like just a little bit, that the action is probably a little better in Double Impact.
Yeah.
It is.
It is. And
But,
Corey.
I mean, despite that, it is still a really fun movie. I really enjoyed watching it. Like, I've been loving all the Jean-Claude so far. He hasn't let me down yet.
Oh, cool. Good.
I know, isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Like, eventually we're gonna hit the really bad Van Damme movie, and it's gonna be like devastating.
Yeah, that might
that
exist.
movie does not exist. That's Blade Trinity territory
And
now.
I-
The movie's no
Yeah.
longer exists.
Yeah, I mean, if they did it Blade 3, that would have been wild if they would have done it,
Yeah,
Um,
it's true.
The theoretical
we-
Blade Trinity.
and honestly, we haven't even gotten to the best one yet, in my opinion. Like, we haven't even gotten to the best Jean-Claude Van Damme movie ever.
What's that?
Well, I
Well,
think it's
JCVD.
JCVD.
Oh,
Is
of
what I
course.
think it is. That movie is brilliant. That's the one where he's actually performing
Yeah.
a very authentic performance. So
Have you seen any of his like recent ones, like The Bouncer and all stuff like that.
No.
There's some of them that are really, really good.
Okay, cool.
Really check out The Bouncer.
I will. All right, but Jean-Claude's not the only person in this movie, but if you want to talk about him, you can. And I'm going to be nice since there's 7 of us and go last. So Jelani, why don't you kick us off? What's a performance you want to highlight in this film?
I'm gonna go with Ron Silver. As
You son of a bitch.
I'm sorry. He's a scene chewing
He's
villain.
awesome.
He is like
He's a scene chewing and a
he's
peanut
the thing.
chewing villain, man. I was wanting some peanuts so bad after watching this movie, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is so cheesy. Like he's just he is down story Al Pacino. He's I forgot what else he's in. He's done a whole bunch of stuff.
He's in tons of shit, yeah.
Oh, he's in tons, and he's always an ass.
And he's always in there. And it's got that high pitched talk. When he talks all the time, he talks like this. And it's the funniest crap I've ever seen. Like he hits the guy in the limo.
That's one of my favorite scenes.
Oh,
When he
yeah.
punches his assistant.
He just hits him and like it's nothing, and he's like telling him what to do, and he's bleeding all over the place. I'm like,
That's basically his never take sides against the family Fredo moment.
right,
Right.
right.
He's even
It's
addicted
so
to his
great.
past self.
He's
Yes.
so brilliant. Yeah.
Lay off the fucking candy bars, would you?
He asked his secretary, "You ever seen the inside of the president's limo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send you a
I'll send you
picture."
a picture.
Yeah.
Got
He's the perfect dude nozzle.
He is perfect.
Forgot about that one.
I love how he turns like he seemed like this naive senator before this, and then his future self gets to him, and he turns right into that dick too. He's just like, oh,
There's one thing about the story though where I'm like, okay, so what if this guy becomes president? Like, does it lead to the nuclear apocalypse or something? Well, we wouldn't know, would we? Because the
No.
future hasn't happened yet. Or has it? I'm so fucking confused.
Dude,
No,
let me just say that
Don't
this
think.
is a very prophetic movie. Like, did you see
Yeah.
the beginning when he was talking about the polls he was leading in? He was like, "You're very
Mhm.
good with the pro-life, pro-death people," and just
Yeah.
everything.
There's like a white nationalist party.
He's just hitting it.
it's like he was in it, like he was gonna set this shit up.
Yeah,
Sounds kind of familiar.
it
But
does.
it's very familiar. In fact, when you start listening to what he's saying, I'm like, oh crap, this is happening.
There's
Okay.
somebody so rich that he can't be bought.
Right.
It's so cool though that they got that villain down. And Ron Silver's great. I love his death. His death is one of the greatest deaths I've ever watched. Like he kills himself twice. Not only that, it erases him from history. Period. He just disappears. I'm like, fuck. Don't meet yourself. And then every time I watch a time travel movie since I've seen this, I'm like, don't touch me. Don't touch me. But everybody else is touching themselves. They touch themselves in the
That
past.
was so
version of
funny.
themselves. I'm like, that's
Don't
stupid.
touch me.
No, you're supposed to melt in each other.
Yeah, no,
You
don't
know-
touch me, but I'll stand really, really
Yeah.
close.
I'll be really close to you.
I'm just gonna say this though, man. If okay, so that happens and he gets wiped from existence from that point forward. So then none of this shit happens, right?
None of it happens.
But it's also if the future doesn't exist yet, why does that place blow up? Like they're using too many different rules
But
and they're all getting convoluted.
That's
But the
so
last thing we
wrong.
need in this movie is 15 minutes of exposition on
Right.
trying to explain how time travel works,
Right.
right? Like, who gives a shit?
in a foreign accent.
Right.
Yes.
God, but
Exactly. Dude, Silver's
he's a
great in
great
this
villain.
movie, man. He really does. And Oliver Harper, he'll do these like commentaries sometimes, basically like a movie watch along in a way. And in that commentary, he said he's the guy who's smarter than the script and knows what this movie is. And so he's just taking advantage of it and just going for it and just ham it the fuck up. Like what's his name in Last Action Hero, like the
Charles Dance.
Charles Dance.
hell yeah. What about you, Verno? What's a performance you want to highlight?
Oh, well, I know the one I wanted to highlight was Ron Silver.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
I tried to get here early just for that. No, you nailed it, man. I honestly, and you guys might make fun of me, I thought he was Andy Garcia the whole time.
No shit.
I don't know why. I'm like, look at Andy Garcia. I thought he was bigger than this.
I'm not even mad at that. He definitely gave me Andy Garcia vibes.
I
Yeah, he
haven't
is Andy Garcia.
It's been
I
so
was
long
like,
since
"Was
I'd
he
seen
your
him in
brother
anything.
three?"
But I'll go the only other one, in my opinion. So good luck to the rest of you guys. The only one else worth mentioning, other than Van Damme, is his boss, or Bruce McGill, the guy that plays him. But
Matuzak.
He plays, somebody mentioned, he plays like pretty much the same guy in almost everything you see him in. He's usually like I think you said, Jelena, he's usually a villain, but he's kind of likable. You're kind of not sure. And I was falling for that, but he's a very charming and likable guy. But his character super confused me.
Yeah.
Like when Van Damme
joke about it. They make it real quick. They make a joke about him like turning. They're like, "You trust me, right?" It's
like, exactly. Yeah. I was like,
"I trust you."
That's a great scene because we're all thinking the same thing. Van Damme, you're gonna leave him hanging? Oh, if you don't trust him, we don't trust him.
Right.
But at one point, he comes back. Van Damme comes back, and it's like the future is all changed. He doesn't. He's very confusing. He acts like nothing's wrong, and he knows who he is. And then a couple scenes later, he's like, "So you're telling me we were friends, and I liked you?" It's like, bitch, you just knew who I was in the very last scene.
Right.
What just happened? It was like, there was a lot of, must have been some rewrites or something, or a scene that was left
Something happened. That's what I was thinking too. Something changed where they were like, they weren't supposed to be friends. Like he's supposed to be extra mean or something. And then I don't know. That was a rewrite. That had to be a rewrite.
But yeah, he's just the one that stuck out to me, other than Dime Store Michael Corleone. That I'm like, well, there's a character, there's an actual character, so I'll go with him. He was
all right, nice,
pretty great.
What about you, Stu? And is it related to your wet dreams you had when you were a child?
Shit. No. I'll take one for the team and pass. I'm gonna go with what was dude's name? Was it Ricky? The dude that Matuzak ripped, he stopped working that machine.
Yes.
Yeah, he gave me like Philip Seymour Hoffman and Twisters vibes. So I'm gonna go with him. I enjoyed the couple scenes he was in.
I'll ring your neck.
Bruce McGill was my number one. I love the grounded feel he brought to that role. But yeah, I'll go with Ricky.
Is that the dude who like the computer guy?
Right? Yeah.
Do you love how like the one thing that really changes in this timeline is that somehow he gets his shit together?
Outfit? Yeah, I saw that. I was like, is this on purpose, or was this just like a continuity error, or are they trying to say something changed?
Something changed. Yeah. Van Damme's not super tight with it. It's so weird, man. I don't understand, dude. But whatever. It's wild. What about you, Spilio?
I'm gonna give you guys a softball because I'm not gonna pick her but I want to. But the guy in the beginning that was the ex-partner, that guy was a sleaze. But we all would have done the same thing he is doing.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
In a heartbeat.
Exactly.
We all would have brought the almanac back, bro.
I'd have brought the almanac.
Yeah.
I totally brought the almanac back. We wouldn't have had a bullshit Biff world, but damn it, I'd have been rich and y'all would have known me.
But I liked him because you couldn't choose. Do you hate him or do you feel sorry for him? Because, if he doesn't do it, his family's gone. So you would have done it, So I really liked, it wasn't just a sleazy guy that was trying to beat the system and all shit like that. Add a little character to it, which I enjoyed.
Hell yeah. What about you, Fable? Who you want to highlight?
Yeah, I was gonna pick Matuzak too, man, because his delivery through the whole movie is the same delivery for every line.
Every movie he's ever been in.
Yeah.
Real friend.
Thank God.
Hey, you gonna come over? Oh, okay.
Real quick, Jay, that was the Sony mini disc, man, that they're using in this movie.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys noticed that, but the mini disc was actually the superior format at the time and never really took off. So there you go.
Station J. Oh, and I'm also gonna say Mia, because I know my brother Rockin Robbie probably want to wax poetic about Mia, but I'm gonna pick Scott Lawrence. That's the guy in the beginning of the movie who's like, yeah, we invented time travel, bitches, and this is why you're gonna give us money, and this is why we're gonna create an agency. And and then like later he comes back for a few minutes. It's like he's the boss of stuff, and he's showing Ron Silver around. Yeah, I'll just pick him. Yeah, he was great.
Obama's cousin. He gave Obama.
I was thinking that, man. I didn't want to make that joke, but no, for real. He comes in there, he just lays it in. He's only in that one little bit. He gives us all the exposition we fucking need, man.
Right.
That's so true, though. Yeah,
He
absolutely.
does.
He really
Fuck yeah.
does.
What about you, Brooks? What you thinking?
I actually like the internal affairs agent lady. It looks like it looks like she's going to be a sidekick at first.
Yeah,
And
Gloria
then, like,
Rubin.
she betrays him. I'm like, because it actually caught me off guard with that twist. I was like, what? I thought she was going to be like,
I hated that lady when she did that. I hated her.
Yeah.
It's like, because you think, it's like, you're like, oh, she's going to be his partner now. And like, but then like, she like does this, she flips on him. I'm like, wow, I didn't see that one coming. That's a nice twist.
Oh, and she was hot too. So
I knew she was hot. I was like,
oof.
get it. She can.
Yeah.
All the
Sometimes-
ladies in this movie are hot.
Yeah.
Thirstiest panel I've ever been on. You guys
Yeah,
are
no
getting
shit.
me steamy over here.
That's right.
Hollywood
Mia
didn't hire
Sarah
a lot of
still
hot
beats
ladies
her.
back in the day.
Mia Sarah still beats her. But Gloria Rubin was in
Okay,
the rain
yeah.
when she took the
All right.
jacket off. I was like, bro.
What about the sex girl?
Yeah.
Now she
Dark.
Yeah, from the VR game.
Yeah.
What is
You fucking that machine again.
Honorable mention, Spellio.
You catch you fucking this machine again, I'm gonna slack your head or something.
Bring your neck.
Yeah.
Fucking this machine.
You know, sometimes
That
being
happens to me at work. They say,
sometimes
"Spill,
being
don't
nice
stop
pays
fucking
off
machines."
because I knew this was going to be a problem with 7 fucking people. Everybody goddamn talking. All right. So it's paying off. I get to pick the hottest person in the movie, Jean-Claude Van Damme. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all because we were talking about this last week where I was like, as much as I love Bloodsport and Kickboxer, like Van Damme's not like a super good actor in those movies, right? Like as far as like having a subtle or a nuanced performance, but that's not what those movies are trying to do, right?
He's just a dude.
In Double Impact, he does a little bit more. He's like, and I'm like, you can see the journey, and he's making that
trying.
journey. And
He's
in
trying.
Timecop, I think maybe one of the reasons why it doesn't feel so like action heavy is because they do kind of focus on that a little bit, and he does do a lot more emoting and has a little bit more nuance. I'm not saying it's a brilliant performance. I'm just saying that it's probably one of his more grounded performances at this point in his career, for sure. But he does have better. And so I'm really excited to pack that up. And yeah, Mia Sarah's hot as fuck in this movie too.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna change mine to Mia Sarah. You didn't take her. I'm gonna take her.
When they do, that sex scene, I wish would have went on for another like minute and a half, dude.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you got Mia Sarah's breasts and you got Van Damme's ass, and it's just like all like blue lighting and shit. Speaking of the lighting, the direction of the movie, the style, the structure. I think the style of the movie is great. The special effects for the time were pretty big, kind of like big deal, right? I mean, it's not Jurassic Park level, right? But for its budget and for what this movie is, the special effects like hold up a lot, right? I really like the way that they don't try to push too far into the future with how futuristic things are going to be. It does a kind of, and as I'm watching this movie, I'm like, you know, I like how they're like, it's in the future, but it's like some things still look the same. It's like Minority Report. Then when I thought about that, I started thinking there's a lot of similarities between this movie and Minority Report, right? Like guys like in part of this government agency, it's set in Washington, D.C. There's issues with his wife. They got a house. Like it's not like I saw this. And then I saw today a video saying that this was a Minority Report ripped this off. That's not really true because Minority Report, of course, is based on the Philip K. Dick story. But there are elements, man, of Minority Report, like where I feel like Spielberg watched Timecop and was like, I think I could do that better, right? Like with more money, of course. But so the style is there. I love the way it's shot. Peter Heim actually will, in a lot of his movies, be his own director of photography, right? And so that's something that you don't typically see. It works for it here. I think it looks great. The special effects for the time are great. I think most of the set designs are great, but they were kind of held back, you know. But I think that's one of the reasons why it looks better is because they were held back and they didn't like overdo it with optical effects or like models or anything like that to make it look cheesy and dated, right? And the script, yeah, a lot of it doesn't make sense, but it's short. You know, it's not a 2.5 hour movie. It just gets in, it gets out. It doesn't waste time. You know, it's like, it's got a very solid act structure. Yeah, it may not make sense, but they get in and get out. And I've seen a lot of longer movies that make no fucking sense and they don't give a shit. They're just going to shove that down. So I think it's pretty think it's pretty all right as far as style and structure goes. What about you, Jelani?
Yeah, it for me it holds up in a lot of different ways, except for of course the holes of time travel. The humongous holes in time travel just bother me still, and like there was a point I was going to bring up before, but I forgot it now. But I'll still bring this up. There are parts in this movie where, yeah, there had to have been multiple rewrites, like we were talking about before. There had to have been something that was in between this that we're not getting, because it feels like it's missing something. Like there's something that they cut out that was a thread with this movie. I don't know what it is. I have no clue. But
well, what it is when he goes back to the future and Biff Tannen is running everything out of a pleasure casino.
Yeah,
and, he's out,
That's exactly what it was. We're in the worst timeline. It's kind of those things, man. It's just something's missing from it. It's shot well, but the action scenes, if you notice, they're not as good as Double Impact, like we said before. And the reason is most of those scenes are shot in the dark in Timecop. You can't really see Van Damme do much martial artsing things, being martial arty, in anything except the mall, maybe. Like the mall scene where it's really bright. But then like when they get to the house and they do the fight in the house, it is all dark. You can't really see much of anything. So the action is not as crisp as Double Impact was.
A lot of quick cuts too, and
really
like less wide shots. Yeah,
right. Yeah, it misses a lot as far as the action goes. I still enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you can still see them fighting. It's just very muddled the way the fight scenes look, especially when they're shot in the dark like that. They should have had some kind of natural lighting that would have helped with this fight scene. There's a lot of future tech that they could have used in this movie. I don't know. The taser was all right. The guns were, but like I think if you're gonna have a future 2004 or something like that, I'd have more cool stuff in the next 2 to 10 years. I don't know. Cell phones would have been a talking point, not the big ones that they had or even tried to have before '95, but it needed something that showed that you were in the future of those ugly ass cars and time travel. It's just something that was missing, and that plot that thread isn't in the movie for me to see. So that's just a nitpick for me. But I don't worry about it because the damn Ron Silver scene when he gets smashed together, that's still amazing to me. That's amazeballs. I'm sorry. Yeah, if I'm gonna deal with my younger self, of course I'm not gonna touch you, but I'm gonna do exactly the same shit. I would like, look, you dumbass, do this, don't touch me.
Yeah, I like how he like punted him into himself. Like that was great. Get your ass over there.
I must be on Broadway.
It must be on Broadway. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the one-liners are like, oh my god.
Awesome. So, there's so many different things in this movie I could nitpick all day, but it's still fun. Yeah. It's still like it brings me joy, and the way Mia Sara shot in this and the sex scene was amazing. That she should have had the same sex scene that the other girl did in Double Impact. Like that
that crazy ass music video one.
Yeah. The sax was hitting it, man. It was getting I was like, damn. Because it's always, like Bill Burr says, it's always implied when they do the sex. It's like he's inserting while the sax is going. So you're like,
praise the fake sax. I love it, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think Mia Sara should have been in the scene for Double Impact. She should have been in that movie too. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Verno, what do you think about the style and structure?
Is that what we're doing? For style, it begins and ends with the mullet. There's really nothing else to talk about. We know what's going on. We get the splits, we get the mullet. For structure, here's the two ways that I would make this movie way fucking better. Like Brooks, I completely agree with you. When the partner flips and she does what she does, I was like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. Too bad we only met her like 35 seconds ago. Like that's a fuck up. She should have been. Imagine if she's the crook at the beginning. We see her steal the bag. He stops it. then we flash forward, she's the partner, or she's either partner, because that's the other problem. And then you could do that. You could do that with either one. The original partner that he goes back, we have no relationship with that guy. We don't feel any of that at all. You fix those two things, and you add what this movie's missing in a lot of ways is heart, and like to make you really care about the characters, and that would go super far in that. And that's what we're doing for the remake. Spielberg's on board.
Yeah. Okay. No, I agree with you right there, man. Because also when the reveal happens, it's not relevant for that much longer.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
And then the little bit at the end, hey, you should give Bobby Fischer, whatever. Bobby Fischer's a chess guy, right? But like whatever the dude's name is, you need to give him a. She literally said I shouldn't have had sex with him that night. Why are you trying to get her to call that dude back again? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's terrible, terrible, terrible. Some weird lines in this movie too, where he's like, "What is it?" The line at the beginning when he comes up behind Mia Sarah, and he's like, "There's never enough time to please a woman," or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Go pick up a Kama Sutra book or something, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Like, go read something.
I bet you they was screwing like every day, like every freaking day. So he was probably doing sex shit. They were probably doing sex shit like in the mall. Yeah, man, look at the way he was flipping her around in that scene. Yeah, they was banging. They was banging. That's why the only reason them two were together. Come on now.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Stu, what did you think about the style, structure, and the sex scene?
Right? Let's keep it on track with the thirstiness. For style, for me, it's all about that one scene in the mall where he stops that rollerblading mugger with the kick up in the air in front of the 1994 Nissan 300ZX. Like that's everything this movie is.
And of course, this motherfucker's on rollerblades, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, structure. I just think it's the story and missed opportunities. I think we could have done so many things better. And like you guys said, man, I think just to get back on track with the thirst train. I think the best part is when we get back to the Mia Sarah saga. But it took us so long, and it's obviously that reveal at the beginning. Oh, this isn't the way I wanted to tell you, and you're like, oh, obviously she's pregnant, you idiot, and you're waiting for that reveal. And by the time you get back to it, you've forgotten about it because all this madness that's happened. So I don't know. I think they could have structured that a whole lot better, and that was my biggest gripe with it. Just some of the back and forth with the time travel was jarring. But yeah, man, I still think style wins out though. At the end of the day for me.
Yeah.
So.
And here's the thing, man. Like, if you come across a sexual partner of yours from 10 years set in the future, right? Wouldn't you try to like bang one more again just to be like, what did you learn in 10 years? Like, what new trick? You know what I'm saying? Because hopefully we're all getting better at fucking, I mean, I know some people have plateaued, but one person I'm sure is not plateaued is Philosophers. Why don't you tell us what you think about the style and structure and sex scene in the movie?
There was a sex scene. I think
that was banging, son.
I like the TV style. I like the style of the movie because I'm a really big fan of the Sean Connery Outland. I really love that movie, and you can definitely see they were both shot exactly the same, and also I did like the style, the structure. You guys already said it, and I didn't like. Do you know how many hospitals are in an area for him to be in the same hospital to get the Jane Doe's blood, and his wife's blood is right there?
Yeah. DC just has the one hospital, right? I mean, it's just
yeah. I mean, come on. If we all went back to '94 and your partner was still alive, hello, that's the first thing I would have done. I don't give a shit about anything else, So, but for him holding it for 10 years, right? That he just let her die or something, never thought about going back. So that part, and of course the other structure and the holes, but I'm sorry, but I love Deadpool and Wolverine, right?
Yeah,
that's a great movie. But if you really sit down and look at it, it makes zero freaking sense. Zero.
Yeah.
Okay. Just leave it out the window. This is the same movie. You don't give a shit about the rules.
It's the Austin Power rules of time travel.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
You don't. Yeah, you know what I mean? The one thing I will give them credit, I don't know how they did it. I mean, obviously Van Damme, the older and the younger, I mean, he had the shorter hair and he looked, but they made Silver, I don't know how, they really made him look so much younger than.
Yeah, they did a good job with those two. That's a good call.
They did that.
Yeah.
They made him stop using his Just for Men for a month, is what happened.
Yeah. And he put that like doofy look on his face when he was.
Yeah, he did.
He did. So that part was phenomenal. But this movie still.
It takes this motherfucker 5 minutes, and then he goes, "Oh shit, you're me." No shit, brother.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I didn't get. Okay, hopefully in 10 years, if I just popped on and you guys haven't seen me in 10 years, you would say, "Hey, John."
Yeah.
Right.
His wife saw him, and she was like,
"Yeah," she was like scared of him at first. Yeah. Like, God damn. Yeah.
That part was funny as fuck. But anyway.
Yeah. All right, Fable, what about you? Style and structure?
I'm definitely worse at sex. After 2 kids, I don't even know what sex is. You know, what is even that?
Clip it.
Hey, Fable, I second that.
You know, 3 kids, I don't even know what that is anymore. I used to have so much of it, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so we're talking about the style structure. Okay, so the style.
There are ways to have sex without having a baby, Fable. Are you Catholic? What's going on, man?
It was alive, and then it's not alive.
Every sperm is sacred.
You can still do the dip, but the swirl is where you kind of.
I can't even go that way. Like my leg doesn't. Well, let me. Anyway, the style. I love the style. The style gives me Peter Verhoeven vibes, like a Total Recall, RoboCop kind of look to it, like the way his cop suit looks, you know, stuff like that. The shitty future, kind of, you know, Total Recall-ish. That's kind of like a shitty looking future too. With a mix of like Terminator 2 vibes, right? Because Terminator 2 was so hot, and it was like, we need another one of those. You know what I mean? I mean, we don't got the money they got, but we need something like that. So I get those vibes from it. Structure, I agree with all of you guys. It has super duper plot holes in it. But at the same time, if we add too much, then we're going over the hour and a half. Yeah. And I think in an hour and a half, I think this thing just barrels through its story. And if it's based on a comic book or it's in tandem with a comic book, it definitely feels like a comic book, this movie. Which is something that I actually like about it. And it was produced by Sam Raimi, y'all. I don't know if
that's right.
Yeah, good call, dude. I forgot about that.
So
that's right. From Xena Warrior Princess.
Right. You know, it's so weird. Every time I remember liking something, I'm like, man, I used to like Xena. And they're like, Sam Raimi made it. That's why I liked it.
There's other reasons why you like it. Come on.
Back when I used to have sex. No.
Fable used to get on the kitchen counter splitting and just fucking
going.
That's
right.
No, style and structure is great. The only thing that I like, and I think Verno mentioned this earlier, is, man, I love that beginning scene where they're robbing the gold bullion from the Southern Army. And I love when he goes to the 1920s and that whole bit and stuff. I think that was all really well done. And I would like to have like maybe just 1 or 2 more scenes where they're just playing that stuff out a little more. But that's about it. I mean, like I said, if you add any more else, then you're running the risk of being too long. And I like that this movie's an hour and like 35 minutes. So.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the smartest thing about the script in this movie is that it knows it's not smart.
Yeah. Like how hilarious was it? Dude was comparing the stocks from the 1929 crash with 2004. Like, I got it all.
I know that pitch.
Hell yeah.
So
he's like 100,000 stocks in Apple. They're like, what the fuck is that? Like apples? Like
Just trust me, things are gonna turn around.
I
Like,
think they put it all in
people are
strawberries.
jumping. People are jumping from the building, bro. Like it's over with.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a weird bit too. Okay, the punishment for this dude going back in time and is like and trying to mess with things is to send him back in time and finish that fucking fall.
That's crazy.
This is so stupid. You could like, isn't there not a safer way to do that? Like, if you don't want to fuck with the timeline, could you not just like kill him there? I don't know.
Yeah.
And the police
Yeah.
captain, like,
Yeah.
oh, it could have been a brighter tomorrow. It's like, what the
Right.
fuck is going on?
Yeah, what was that? Yeah.
No, from the middle of the
This movie's so stupid. I love it.
Why do that kill? Why do that kill and not do another payoff kill or try to do like Van Damme where they're trying to kill him and something like that happens to him where they do it but he foils it or something. I don't know.
There
Like
you
him
go.
getting thrown in front of a train or some shit and he's like, oh shit, or like the truck, something like that.
That was
where he gets
really
out of the
cool
way.
back
Yeah.
then. That scene was
Yeah, it looks really good.
Groundbreaking.
How many of the goddamn TEC agents have died just being thrown in front of a fucking train or some shit, or they materialize in the middle of a fucking wall or underwater?
Yeah, these coordinates are so like horrible. God
JVC
knows where they
almost
end
gets
up.
run over by Optimus Prime. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Brooks, what about
Yeah.
you? What you sitting on?
The special effects.
Like Fable said, like I noticed, like this movie felt kind of like a less cynical Verhoeven movie in a lot of ways to me. Like it has that kind of like that future aesthetic that was getting popular in sci-fi in the 90s, and
The satire.
yeah, I think it really works for this in this movie's favor. It does. It gives it kind of an authentic feel, I guess. Like this is what we thought the future was going to be like. And like of course it didn't turn out that way. Like I guess some of it did. Like the cars kind of like remind me of like the Cybertruck a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Which like to be honest, when I see a Cybertruck, I think like it's like I just think I don't like that. Like it's just like it's a primal thing when I see a Cybertruck. I'm like I don't like that.
I don't like that.
But that is like I love our 90s idea of the future because it's so ridiculous, but in a lot of ways like it's kind of prophetic in a way. Like some of the stuff like actually did kind of pan out a little bit.
Not the ugly cars.
It's kind of like, is it a self-fulfilling prophecy maybe, or was it just like maybe like artists do have some kind of like insight into the future with like subconsciously or something.
Well, I mean, we could break into the idea there, and I think what it is I think our art influences our design of our future.
Yeah,
right?
Like,
I think it's like
Star Trek
it goes
shit, like a lot of that.
Yeah, well, it goes all the way
Right.
back to it goes all the way back to like the caveman days, right? Like we're going to paint pictures on the cave of us going out and killing this buffalo and feeding our family and celebrating. And then therefore, so let it be written, so let it be done. I think it's one of those.
We'll stack a bunch of
I agree
stones
with
on
that.
top of each other and we'll live inside them.
It's like art and creativity are like along the same thing. You need the creativity to get, or science and creativity.
The
They're
thing
You can
is,
imagine it. It
Star
can
Trek.
happen.
Yeah. Star Trek had the cell phones, the iPad. They had it. Now we just need a transporter.
and
Yeah,
the
and
ones
they're working on it.
we need the onesies and we're set.
Yeah,
Not the
and then-
ones from The Fly, though. Not the ones from The Fly. Just to start.
but
No.
that is how.
Oh,
but
no.
that's more like how it
Yes.
would work. If you really want to think, if you really go deep into like transporter technology, like teleportation, what that means is it means that they would like copy the entire code of your body, like every single atom in your body, every molecule. They would understand every bit about it and replicate that in another spot with other atoms, and then you would be destroyed in the process and recreated. Is that really teleportation, or is that like long distance cloning or some shit, right?
Hey,
Oh, yeah, that's some Dr. Manhattan shit, bro.
I know. What the hell? I'm Jesus. Go for it.
All right, let's talk real quick about the music in the film. It is done by Mark Isham, who has done some really great scores. I think this is a pretty solid score. Not the greatest, but a solid score. He also did The Hitcher, which I want to point out some of my favorites that he did. The Hitcher, Point Break, Cool World, Of
Cool
Mice
World.
and Men,
Cool
Fire
World,
in the
wow.
Sky,
Yeah.
basically movies that are just, they're not quite at the level, but he doesn't understand that the movies he's doing these things for are not quite at that level, right? Then Nell, oh my God, he did Nell, The Net, Waterworld. Oh, that was a problem. Oh, actually, he did the score for Waterworld. It was rejected and replaced by James Newton Howard. Maybe that movie would have been better if, he did the Varsity Blues, Where the Money Is, Crash.
I've seen most of those movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, not bad.
I'm
Good
with
career.
Eddie Vaughn on the Point Break love. Have you done that, Robbie? Point
He
Break?
did Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Huh.
2017 Dirty Dancing remake. Never mind. We're just gonna skip that one. All right, 42. Yeah, this dude's prolific, man. What'd you say, Verno?
Oh, just echoing Eddie Vaughn B down there. Point Break is the shit. Have you done it? Have you done Point Break?
Oh, yeah, we did it on an Action
Yeah, we
Fest
did.
one year.
Yeah.
I'll do it again. I fucking love that movie. Look, it's a horror movie, Verno. Let's go.
Those masks, yeah. The presidents are scary. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
We can make it
I
work.
like the music in this film though. It's percussive. It's got that epic quality. It's got kind of like good, like it's got like this like melodic kind of theme to it. You know, it doesn't really like stretch too far, but it gets the job done. And I think it gets it done better than other movies at the time. What about you, Jelani?
Yeah, but I think it's kind of generic, to be honest. You know, it's like it's the movie is stress points, and I'm like, okay, I've heard this soundtrack like 80 times in like 80 different movies, and it's fine.
You hear it every Action Fest.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of, I don't know, man. I think in the opening though, it's a little bit different. I think it differentiates itself enough. And in the moments when it needs to, otherwise you're right. It just is by the book, paint by the numbers or something.
It needs a fight to survive.
It needs like a ZZ Top or a Huey Lewis song, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh.
Yeah. It needs like I said, most movies like this is memorable for different things, but this would be more memorable if it had a soundtrack, like a soundtrack of 90s music. Once again, we're in a time travel movie and we didn't make a future song. No one made a future song.
No, is that not what the dude's listening to back in the 20s?
Yeah, he's like, I got 10 seconds worth of work. Let me shut that shit off and put my headphones on. Circle this shit. And then I'm
play this bullshit. But yeah, it was, and he played it on his mini disc, whatever the crap that thing was. Oh, it looked terrible. I was like, oh, I'm glad we don't have that. But it's just samey.
I got an idea for you, man. This is what I need you to do, Jelani, for a special PCP project for 2025. You should rescore this movie using only popular hits from the year 2004. That's what you just see what we can do, man.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
There's gonna be a lot of boy bands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Jean-Claude Van Damme's back. All right.
Pop music.
What about you, Verno? What do you think about the music?
Now I'm just sitting here thinking about that sex scene with time keeps on slipping. And that's what they should have done. I think Jelani nailed it with generic. Usually, I mean, I've grown pretty decent at paying attention to the music. And I watched this movie and it got to the very end, and I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't pay attention to anything. So then I watch it the second time, and the opening theme comes on, and I'm locked in on it. And it was okay. It was good. I enjoyed it, but generic is the word. But not bad. But then I forgot about the music until the very end of the movie when it does this major bit and everything gets all triumphant and everything. Yeah. And it was generic as well. So I will say not bad, but generic.
Fair enough. Stu?
Same boat. Like the beginning score or whatever, that definitely caught my attention. And I noticed it later on in the movie, but other than that, I don't have any other notes.
All right. Spilio?
Generic. And you guys know I love music and all, and I listen to it, and I do. I'm like Verno, I'll listen to it again, and because I'll be like, I try to make it a thing to listen to music when I first time watching it, and then at the end I'm like, oh fuck me to tears, I forgot to do it, you know. So, and then I went back, and it's good, but generic. That was my nickname.
Fable, what about you?
Yeah, same. It's serviceable. It works. You don't notice it. So, when you don't notice it, it's doing its job.
Fable's
Only
like,
time
this
you
is like my sex life currently.
Yeah, basically,
Serviceable.
It works.
Sometimes. You notice music the most when it's really, really freaking good or when it's really freaking bad.
Right.
You don't notice it at all. It worked. So
Yeah.
that's all I gotta say.
I think I liked it better than you guys. It's all right. I don't feel like this is a funhouse situation, so we're gonna make it through. Brooks, what about you?
Wait, you know what's bad? Now every time I hear this song, this sound, I'm gonna think of Fable's sex life.
Man. Brooks,
So, like, when you
What do you
have
think
sex, John, is it like you rub two sticks together in the cave first, and then y'all like get at it? Is that how it works? I don't know. I mean, caveman sex is different.
oh, you trying to make an old joke on him? Is that what that was?
Yeah, he comes everyone.
No, he obviously paints it on the fucking wall first, and then it happens.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, let it be written until it be done.
Look,
Rubbing two
hungry
sticks together.
people,
What the fuck, Jelani?
we
That's the
started
weakest
sex,
fucking transition I heard.
okay?
You're right when I get in the car. I got it. You're old, John. You're old.
But I still have more sex than you.
Oh, because it's true. It's so funny.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean,
I had no idea.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
I guarantee, Spilio, that was too true.
I'm sorry, Delaney. I just,
damn.
I have a beautiful wife, so
I don't.
Yeah, get his ass.
yeah.
Brooks is so fucking happy right now.
Why are you happy about it, Brooks?
I don't know, but he is.
Hey, bro, you stepped in it.
Jesus Christ.
I love you, brother.
Brooks, what do you think about the music and Jelani's sex life?
Oh no.
Jeez.
As to the latter, I have no real investment. I just watch, just to make sure, he's being safe. Like, that's all. That's all there is to that. As for the music, it's fine.
I thought he
it's a
said
little
he was
basic.
watching him have sex.
I think he did.
I'm just looking out for his
Right
well-being.
in the corner, back here, slowly. I mean, I'll let him.
I always knew y'all seemed a little too close in your Go Figure reviews.
Yeah. Well, not with each other. Good God.
No, I didn't say that. There'd be nothing wrong with that. Now, Brooks in the corner just fucking watching, taking notes, being like, condoms on? Cool, I can leave.
Yeah, okay.
Protected.
With a hard hat and a fucking just safety inspector.
Got a pocket protector.
Fluorescent orange vest.
Yes, the pocket.
Every once in a while, I have to pop out and be like, no.
That's not it. Ocean
Back it up.
Land.
Oh my God. This show is
Wow.
awesome. This is one of the best shows ever.
This is like off the rails.
This
Yeah.
is awesome.
He's got a checklist. Pre-cum, you need that condom on right now, my man.
Slow down.
You-
Slow down.
That act has not been sanctioned.
Cliff, you gotta rewind it, Cliff. You missed
What's
all
up,
the
Yeah,
Cliff?
Cliff. You shut up at an interesting time, Cliff.
everyone.
Wow.
So what did you think about the music, though, Brooks?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's fine. Like,
I'm just there to make sure it's safe.
Yeah.
Fine.
I had to
supposed to regulate
rewatch the movie
We're all
just
good.
so I could actually listen for the soundtrack. So I kind of watched the movie the same time, but not paying as much attention to the visuals, so I could listen to music. So yeah, I did notice it was very basic, but it works for what it is. And the fact that they nailed the saxophone in the sex scene, I think it was,
Yeah.
they did it right this time. I think they could have used a little more of that sax and Double Impact. Like, we need to take a little bit of the sax out of this movie and put it in Double Impact. But you can't turn back time. You don't want Jean-Claude busting your ass.
That
Maybe you
reminds
do.
me of the one guy's cheesy little time theme joke that he makes. Talk about the agency being, they're going to shut down this agency. We're going to be history. I was like, waka waka. You did it.
That's funny. All right. This should be interesting. What's the theme of the movie? What's it saying to you? What is it actually about? Jelani, what's Timecop speaking to your soul?
God.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason Mia Sarah was given back to him. He was banging her hard. They was banging.
They was banging.
That's all I got from this movie.
Did you guys notice, by the way, when they were banging, that Brooks was in there just fucking watching?
Just standing there with a clipboard, trying to get it out. Yeah, I noticed. But yeah, it's a simple movie. I mean, don't play with time because it will fuck you up. Like basically, this is a paradox because he goes back. The future him or the past him sees his wife get blown up by future people, and somehow that's stopped by him going back. It's too much work. So I'll put it like this, I guess. Don't try to run for president. It's a bad idea. No one should ever run for president. That's what I think. Because this is a big fundraising scheme. And to do this, he had to kill. Why did he just kill Jean-Claude Van Damme? Like, I don't know. Anytime they wanted to. Why did he have to kidnap his wife? All that stupid shit. You did an overly convoluted plan to just.
It's so complicated. So he needs a certain amount of money. So he's got to go rob the fucking Confederacy. He's got to go buy stocks. He's got to go do what?
What are you doing?
Couldn't you just?
You could pick anyone.
Buy more stocks.
Yeah.
Go buy a bunch of Action Comics #1s.
That's it.
Fresh off the newsstand.
You're making this too hard. And
they did say he needed $50 billion. Is that what they said?
Yeah.
They said something like that, right? It was like $50 billion.
Like
really?
That's way too much for a campaign.
That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't need that much money.
That may not be too far away from what they actually spend, though. I don't know. I don't look at those numbers anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good.
That's it. Don't worry.
That's a good message, Delaney. What about you, Verno? What's this movie speaking to your soul?
Harris's campaign spent $1 billion.
$1 billion.
If only she had 50.
Pretty sure. Don't quote me. I could totally fucking be wrong. What is the movie speaking to me, man? I'm literally sitting here racking my brain, and the only thing that I could think of, Robbie, I can't wait to hear the shit you pull out of your ass. It's gonna be my favorite part of the show. The only thing I can think of that even happens is Jean-Claude Van Damme leaves in the middle of the night and goes to work when his wife wants him to stay there. So, does he learn that lesson in 1920 or somewhere between then and now? If maybe I don't remember. I missed it. But I would just say it's not thematically a strong movie, and I don't think they thought much about it. They didn't really give a shit about many things in this movie, but it still worked. But that's what I got.
I like how that was also a challenge you made. You're like, there's nothing about this movie, Robbie. They didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna be sitting there waiting now. He's gonna be watching me like Brooks in the fucking corner of the bedroom. Stu, what's this movie speaking to you?
I have faith you'll do it though.
Should we tell
them? Sorry. Everything we've had going on tonight, I'm going to go with if you're even thinking about pulling out, it's already too late.
I love it. That's the quote they're going to put on the special edition Blu-ray when they finally put that out. Spilio. What about you, Spilio?
If you have plenty of money, you can change time.
Okay. I like that. What about you, Fable?
Time is money.
Jesus, Brooks.
If you ever run into your future or past self, do not touch them.
That's good. That's a good rule. I like it.
Yep.
Brooks, what about you?
Well, I think a big thing of this movie is the kind of inherent stupidity of evil. These people have managed to be able to travel through time, and these guys the best thing they can think of is let's go rob the past. Let's go fucking steal gold and shit. This is the problems that we have to solve in the future with time travel. We have to keep morons from going back in time and stealing. And I love the line in the end where Ron Silver's telling him of course I'm gonna win because I'm a genius from the future and you're a fucking idiot. And then it turns out like, oh no, bro, maybe you were the fucking idiot. Why'd you cut yourself and die, you moron? Yeah, I think this movie is basically saying like villains are all idiots and they will. That's why they always fail, is because they're stupid and they don't know what they're fucking doing.
Fair enough.
Hell yeah. That makes a lot of people feel maybe a little bit better about the next 4 years. All right. For me, like, I love what you said, Brooks. Like, the only thing that they can think of with this amazing technology is to go and rob the past. What's crazy is that in reality, it's the inversion of that that's happens. We rob our future, right? Where we don't have the foresight to, like, whether it's resources or whether it's like for instance, he tells them, stop eating so many fucking candy bars. He tells himself that 10 years before. Like, he's robbing himself of the future by eating those candy bars. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why he's kind of got this thing about going with the past. But that's not what I think this movie's speaking to me. What I think this movie's speaking to me is the inherent corruptible nature of every amazing bit of technology that we have. Technology is only developed for us to exploit it, right? We are having this conversation not like just the other day that we only have amazing breakthroughs in science when there's like a military application, when there's something to be gained from it, whether it's some kind of control or power, or whether it's money and financial gain or influence, anything like that, right? The only reason why we can actually come up with these amazing things in society is for those purposes. And I think it's ridiculous because every time we find something amazing, we create something brilliant, we inherently just go into the wrong direction with it. And we utilize it for the wrong things. Social media, these phones, everything like that, right? What are we using them for? To be communication. Here, what we're doing right now, we're friends. We would have never met in without this technology, without the internet, right? But what is the internet really used for? It's used to like figure out what everybody likes, how to distract everybody, how to get everybody fucking fighting amongst each other, how to get us all to spend more stupid fucking money and stuff like that, right? How to get us all to riled up to buy like $50 fucking 4K Timecop Blu-rays or some shit, which, by the way, if they did that, I would totally be on board.
Yeah,
but you
me
know what
too.
I'm saying? It's that kind of a thing. I think it's about that. I think it's about the like our amazing ability as humans to create wonderful technology, but how we have an inability to actually utilize that for the right reason. We're never going to get to Star Trek, y'all. I've learned that.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah, no.
We
Don't be
might.
so negative.
We might. Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, come on,
That's
guys.
one way to
Team
look at
spirit,
it.
Dave.
All those
Yeah.
things that you said, it's always for the negative. That's not true. It's just like an aspect of it. It's the most impactful, and if it bleeds, it leads aspect of it. But there's also all the good. I wonder how, you know what I mean? The internet, it's a good one. What's more, is there more good or more bad? What's going to happen in the end? I remember at first I was like, this is going to liberate us all. I was telling everybody, oh my God.
Yeah, but what do you think it's done? Like, it's this, like, it's done. I agree. It's
Bad.
both. It's
Bad.
both, right? But it's done. I think it's doing more harm to us and our evolution as a species, man.
But you got to look at it like this.
We don't even know. I'm sorry, John, but we don't even know what this is going to do to like the kids that are like from the beginning. They got like a device, a screen in their face. Like,
Well, I mean, they didn't know what
sure.
TV was gonna do in the 50s.
yeah, and look at us, bro.
Yeah, we're awesome.
We are.
The couple things that if you see kids today, I mean, Robbie probably sees this. Kids come into the store. This is how they'll come in. Hey,
Right.
do you have a 12-inch dildo? You never know.
Yeah, if you ask for a 12-inch dildo, you be proud about that shit, bro.
But let me ask you.
Yeah, I can take all 12 inches.
I can take.
Smaller footlongs, baby.
But is there more on the internet? Is there more people like this, like us, or are there more people like who hate a fucking movie even before it's come out? They already hate it. So that's the thing. I can see that it's a positive and negative. But what do you guys think? Do you think there's more people like us here, or the other way?
There's more people that
like
are
us.
There's more people that want to post. I think that's what it is. The
Yeah.
people that are motivated to post are going to be the more negative people. My hope is this is what I hope. I don't know if I believe it as much as I used to. Is that we need like another 15 years If we don't kill ourselves in this 15 years, this is our baby stage of the internet. We got to learn how to tame this shit. We got to make some mistakes. We got to go through some COVID type shit to put it all into perspective. We need somebody to make a good documentary that 10 years from now that shines the light, and we can all see it for what it is. Then we teach the next generation how to avoid the mistakes that we're making right now. Hopefully, if we can live.
Well, and maybe I'm being too nice. I'm being too nice, and when I say we, I mean as a collective humanity, because like I feel like we got to all somehow take the blame. We're all a part of it. But what I really mean is like authority, the governments, like the institutions. They're the ones that manipulate. Like a lot of us will just want to. I really honestly believe like a lot of the people that get online and argue and shit like that, that's not necessarily inherently their fault, because that algorithm has put that fucking thing in your feed because they know it's going to get an emotional response out of you.
Yeah.
And you might be arguing with a bot, depending on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're probably not going to argue with a bot about like the next.
The robot war's already begun.
But in politics, that's what you're doing. There's a good chance you're talking to a bot.
But you know what else too? You meet all these people from all these different places in the world, and you kind of find out we all have the same fucking problems. Like, oh, you going through that shit too? Holy shit! I thought it was just so weird. No, it's you over there. You hate your fucking government too? Yeah, me too, dude. Yeah,
Oh, you got crooked bastards
and
in
you
your
just find
government
this
too.
common ground, and you find out you're getting fucked. You know what I mean? And like that's how we evolve past it. Like we're getting the gist of it. Like, wait a minute.
The CIA's fucking with your elections too?
Yeah. You think Mia, Sarah, and Van Damme are hot as fuck too, and that sex scene should have been longer and Timecop?
We have a lot in common.
Yes, exactly. We all do. Hey, look at that, Verno. Look at that discussion we all just had together.
Right. Beautiful.
That's why we are the pop culture philosophers. I'm so proud of all of us, including myself. There was a moment today, Verno, where I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to say at the end of the show? All right, time to rate this bitch and get out of here. I'm stealing that from you. There's a kind of rate this bad boy and get the fuck out of here. Out of 5 possible you digs, Jelani. Well, I'll kick us off like I usually do nowadays. I'll go 3.5. 3.5 out of 5. I think it's a solid movie that gets bumped up because of, I think, an elevation or a slight evolution in Van Damme's more nuanced aspects of his performance as an actor. Obviously his ass, obviously Mia Sarah, that whole thing. I'll leave that to Jelani. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's kind of dumb, but like Ron Silver's amazing in the movie. Van Damme's good in the movie. Like, it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie, and it's something cool to revisit. So 3.5 for me. 5 for this conversation, though. What about you, Jelani?
Yeah, it's also 5 for this conversation because good lord. I'm gonna give this is nostalgia for me. I really enjoy this movie. It's a thorough examination of how you should and shouldn't do a time travel movie. So I'm gonna give this one. I'll give this one a 4.
Oh, nice,
nice.
I'm gonna be kind because it doesn't technically need to be a 4. It's got a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, Mia Sarah, that sex scene, bro. She, hey, every time I
just needed some saxophone, Jelani, though. Otherwise, it'd be a 5.
That guy from
you sure like the saxophone a lot for somebody who hates jazz, bro. I'm just
There's certain
all the bits are coming back. I forgot about that shit.
The only time that sounds good is in Cowboy Bebop because Cowboy Bebop is art. It's freaking art. But everything else,
very respectable. Jelani, what about you, Verno? What you sitting on there?
I like your 3.5, man. That's what I've been thinking on both watches. When I watched it the first time and the second time, and then I wanted to point out a fun fact. When looking through his catalog of films, Jean-Claude Van Damme, one thing, I wonder if he has anything to do with it. He's got all these movies where you take 2 words, you put them together, you make 1 word. You got Timecop, Kickboxer, Lionheart, Bloodsport. It's like, that's kind of his thing. I just thought it was funny looking through.
Universal Soldier.
Yeah, I thought that too. Nowhere to run.
Double impact.
Sudden impact. Or, yeah, sudden death,
Sudden
double
death.
impact. Oh my God, you're right.
Well, all these
You're
are
right.
just
Hard
like,
target.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
these
God.
are just one word, like blood sport, kickboxer, timecock, and lionheart. Timecock. They're like literally
The
one
thirst
word.
has gotten to Verno.
There, that's the porno. That's the porno version right there.
Oh,
Why is there?
So
There's got to
good.
be a time cock out
Time
there,
travel
right?
porno, bro. Boom.
No
If there's
porno
not a
without
cock,
porno.
man, somebody give me
Oh
50
my
grand.
God.
Let's go.
Oh my God. What did we just do?
Starring Long Cock Van Damme.
Yeah, man. I love it. What about you, Stu? What do you rate it out of 5?
Yeah, I'm right there with y'all. I'm at a 3.5. Did some things exceptionally well, I thought, but other things not so much. But overall, with nostalgia, Mia Sarah, great supporting cast, 3.5. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell
3.5.
yes. Billy-O?
Well, I'm giving it a 4, but I'm going to give it an extra 0.69 for one reason. This movie made how much?
$100 million.
$120 million, something like that.
You know what came out at the same time? Shawshank Redemption. How much money did that make?
Wow.
What the fuck? I
Nothing.
don't know.
50,
No idea.
52 million. Just
Damn.
for that, it gets a 4.69.
Okay. I like that reasoning.
Yeah.
Sure, let's do it.
Fuck you, Andy Dufresne.
It was the bully that beat up the smart kid that one time in school.
Exactly. Yes.
And now look at him today. That kid's started a business and the other kid's sitting there talking about his football days, man. And that guy is called Timecock. All right. What about you, Fable?
We gotta write it.
Yeah, man, I'd agree with you. 3.5. I'm gonna go 3.69 though because of just the crazy sex talk that this movie inspires. You know, you gotta love it. So yeah, 3.69, dudes.
Hell yeah. What about you, Brooks?
I give this movie a 4. Like, it is a lot of fun, but like, on the Jean-Claude scales, like if I compare it to say like the masterpiece that is Bloodsport, it doesn't quite reach Bloodsport levels. But it is still pretty good. Like, I enjoy it more than like say Street Fighter. It kind of falls in between like Street Fighter and Bloodsport for me, which is around the 4.
Nice.
You like this one more than Street Fighter?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's fucking
Me too.
ridiculous.
Yeah, me too.
Oh no, I love
What?
Yeah,
Fighter.
I do
absolutely.
too. I agree.
Yeah, like I like Street Fighter too, but like
Are my feelings going to be hurt next fucking week, y'all? Street Fighter is one of the greatest cinematic achievements in American cinema history. Okay,
I don't even remember it.
It's those Raul Julia.
it's all because of Raul Julia,
Neither
man.
does
Jesus
Van
Christ.
Damme.
Mortal Kombat.
Street. To be
Mortal
clear,
Kombat sucks in comparison to Street Fighter.
And
Street
also, it
Fighter-
doesn't have Bolo in it, so it loses a little bit just for that. I think if it had if Bolo had to pop in like at some point, it would have been a 4.5 easy.
Street Fighter has an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
That don't mean shit.
Yeah, it
What
means
the Time
something.
Cop have?
What's
Time
Time
Cop
Cop got? What's Time Cop got?
Like a
37.
54 or something.
No, it has-
No, like a 40 something.
37.
Yeah, okay, so that's more.
All right, what's
Oh, I'm
Joker's-
sorry.
what's-
I was looking up Timecock. You're right. It's a 42. Or 42.
All right.
So, hey, wait, I got a quick game for everybody. Okay, I did it with my wife today. No, not that. Okay, it's fuck, marry, and kill. Okay, you got Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Van Damme.
You fucking Van Damme every
Rob,
day. Come
you
on.
go first. Go.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go.
I kill Stallone because I think he's ugly in the face, man. I really do.
Okay.
I would fuck Schwarzenegger because I wouldn't want to keep that around, but I would marry Van Damme, bro.
Okay.
But you don't get to fuck him, all right?
No, that's not
The rule.
necessarily the case.
Well, you don't.
Nah, man,
Yeah.
that's fuck that. That's okay. Then I'll fucking marry Schwarzenegger because he's richer than all them bitches. So, and I'd fuck Van Damme. I'd have him do the splits on the kitchen counter. That's what I would
And
do.
you just do it right there.
Yeah, Jelani, go.
Nothing, man. I don't want none of these guys, man. I mean, sure, Schwarzenegger be a cool sugar daddy.
Play the fucking game, man. Come on.
I'm playing the game.
Schwarzenegger would be a cool sugar daddy. If you're
He's a good sugar daddy. I give him no sugar, and he give me all the money.
All right.
Stallone, I guess he would be like, "Ugh, I couldn't stand it." Plus, now in his face, he Tulsa King in the face. He got so I guess I kill him, and then I mean I ain't fucking Van Damme, but I mean we can get some bitches and roll out.
You can at least give him a handy, right? Or so, you would take a handy from him, I bet.
No, son, not even close. No,
Oh, Jelani, I know you. I know you will.
Trade is aboard. Listen. I'll tell y'all this right now. The only dude I'd ever be gay for. I don't know if I've ever told anybody this, but I might well tell on the internet. Only dude I'd ever be gay for, and I just put all right, okay. One, Mr. Randy Orton.
I was not expecting that.
I was not expecting that one either.
Now I got to Google Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
You're not ready for that. You're not ready for that, bro.
I saw him in person, and I was like, "You can take me." It's
Is
all
this
right.
the greatest stream we've ever done on PCP Movie
That's
Night? I think
amazing.
it might be.
Okay, wait.
Hey, hold on.
All right, Berto, go ahead.
I mean, I think it's easy. You're fucking Van Damme all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're killing Stallone, and then you get for the rest of your life to hang out with Arnold Schwarzenegger and do the voice and all of these things, and fucking that's pretty good.
Randy Orton.
All right,
All
Stu.
day.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking Van Damme. He's got them cakes, dude. But I'm fucking murdering the shit out of. I'm murdering the shit out of Arnold. I can't stand Arnold. I'm gonna gut him like a fish. And dude, I'm marrying Rocky. What are we talking about here? We're gonna grow ugly and boring together, man. Like fucking game over.
Dude,
All right.
Robbie, you got to clip this out. You got so
Clip
much
it.
material.
Somebody will, trust me.
I cannot believe this is going on.
Oh shit, this is tough, man. Not because of the fucking part. I probably have to go with Van Damme too. He looks like a one night stand kind of guy.
He's easily the prettiest of the three.
Yeah,
Unarguably.
By far.
This is all that cocaine, and he might hit you one day.
You know
You know what I'm saying? He
Allegedly.
I'm with Stu.
Allegedly.
I'm gonna kill Schwarzenegger because he looks kind of fucking like he looks like he's cheap, dude. Not for nothing. Like he's got a lot of money, but he looks like he's like super cheap. Like he wouldn't buy nobody's shit. And Sylvester Stallone looks like a sweetheart. Like he's like, hey, let's get some coffee. I'll buy you whatever. Let's go. Yeah, I'm with that guy.
All right, so you're married. All right,
Yeah.
Brooks, you're up.
I'd marry Jean-Claude because he seems like he would be a tender lover. I'd kill Sly, and I'd bang Arnold, but I'd try to stay friends.
That's how you end it.
That's the best answer.
Oh my God, that is
the greatest
awesome.
stream ever. I can't believe we having this one.
Oh,
Nice, Filio. What about you?
Oh my god.
oh I'd marry Van Damme. I would fuck Schwarzenegger, and I would kill Stallone. So, because
Yeah,
we're both
so
the
if
same-
sex is on the table with marriage, I'm going back to my original response then. I'm marrying Van Damme. I'm fucking Schwarzenegger. And yeah. Man, interesting. We've learned a lot about each other tonight. I think it was an ever.
Seriously,
You know what?
Schwarzenegger, really? Yeah, dude.
Stallone's just so ugly in the face to me, man. I mean, I don't know.
No, Schwarzenegger
Sorry.
was a good-looking guy
Last three
when he
words.
was younger. He was. He was. I don't know if it was the muscles too, but
You know how Schwarzenegger?
yeah.
I think he's more handsome today and as an older guy than he was
Really?
back then. Dude, look at the pictures of him. Like I saw a picture the other day where he's like cooking up some Wendy's burgers or whatever. He just looks like the dumbest motherfucker, dude. He just looks like I don't like that.
Of course, Van Damme had it all, and that's the one thing I give Van Damme the credit is that he had zero acting lessons, nothing. He learned on the fly, so you got to give him credit. You know, he didn't speak English that well in the beginning, and look at him now.
And he still doesn't, but we love him anyway.
Oh, that reminds me. I saw one review at the time from the Washington Post. It said, "Finally, a movie where the plot is harder to understand than Van Damme's accent. I thought, damn, they were harsh in '94.
Dude, that was
they
the
were.
key.
Watch
That was
the,
the key to action stars back in the days, man. If you had a weird accent, because
Yes.
even Sly talks
Yeah.
funny. So
Right, that's a
it's
good
like,
point.
if you-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's what's funny
Had to.
is Van Damme does have this effect on a lot of people. So if you watch the Siskel and Ebert review, and I encourage everybody to watch their review of this movie.
Yes. Yes.
So Siskel goes, neither of them liked the movie, but Siskel goes, I really feel like they didn't lean, and the best aspect of this movie, which was Jean-Claude Van Damme's body. He should have been naked more. And then like Ebert goes, well, I don't want more naked Van Damme. And like, it was just this weird thing that happened, man.
Yes.
And then Siskel, I think, realized what he said. He goes, well, I mean, I'm just saying he's got a lot of female fans. A lot of bisexuality was awakened watching Van Damme movies, and it's just now for some people still being understood, I think. Anyway, real quick, let's get out of here. What's coming up, Jelani? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being. I'm flustered now. I'm super horny.
You just fucked Stallone, so you're.
Jelani, thank you for being here. Final thoughts. What's coming up?
All right. Yeah, thanks for having me here. Of course, this has been a very enlightening experience, and for the love of God, me and Sarah, call me, please call me. All right. So Brooks and I do Go Figure reviews. It's our toy channel. We do show and tells. We do fun stuff. We review stuff. This week we did She-Ra and the Princess of Power. We also did the Montana and Ram Man. These were the what are they? Master of the Universe Origins figures.
Cartoon collection.
Yeah, the cartoon collection versions. And She-Ra, that's the best looking She-Ra
Yeah.
you will get. Like,
She's the
honestly, that she is awesome. They need more weapons. They need more stuff.
Mhm.
But you'll see that in the review if you watch it. That's fun. And then we also did the Mega Man Jada Toys figures, which those are pretty cool. That's the Hyper
I
Bomb,
love that.
Mega Man, and Elect Man, and Cut Man from the first Mega Man video game. Jada Toys is always killing it. I think Jada Toys and Mattel are killing it this year. Mattel's got its issues, but Jada Toys is consistently good as far as their the price point. You get a decent price point along with everything you want with a figure. So, definitely check that video out. There's a lot of fun stuff with that. We're going to do a house tour soon and some other stuff. So, yeah, check us out. Go Figure Reviews.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Verno, thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure. I think you have been a part of one of our best shows ever, the next one to 500K.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so.
I hope
too.
so. No, this was an absolute blast, man. I'm glad. We might have to do more 7-panel shows, brother. We got 2 huge shows coming up this week. First, we're doing Alien Romulus on the regular Thursday night show. Very excited about that. And then, even more excited, we are doing Friday the 13th, part 3. We're playing some trivia. We're giving away this fancy dancy mask right here that I custom made myself.
Ooh.
Yeah, baby. We're giving away 2, actually. One is going to be going to people in the chat. They're going to be playing along. They're going to win this. And then I've got some options for a panelist to win as well. So very excited about that. Speleotopoulos was supposed to be there, but he's got to go to Disney World instead. You said.
Hey,
He has no choice. When Brett wants to go to Disney World, he has no choice.
I have no choice. He knows. Robbie knows.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
right.
that's
I'm very
so
excited.
one of my favorite things is every Friday the 13th, we've been doing a new one, and we'll eventually get through the whole damn franchise, right? But this one of my favorite shows to do with you is the Friday the 13th celebration.
Same, brother. Same.
Hell yeah. Stu, thank you so much for being here. Final thoughts.
Well, man, thank you guys so much. It was a blast. Ink and Insights every Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live on my channel, Daughter Doom's Fan Club, this Wednesday with me and my buddy E going over our favorite new releases from Marvel, DC, Image, and the Indies. So come check us out. And then I will be hopping on with Vern Thursday night for Alien Romulus. So check me there. But thanks again for having me on, fellas. It was a blast.
Of course. Castle, love you so much. You know it.
Yes.
Final thoughts. Thank you for being here.
I love you, boyfriend. This was a lot of fun, dude. This was a lot of fun. As you guys know, yes, two big things this week. That Castle's Corner, the videos have gone up to like 1,500 now each. And I could only owe it to you guys, because the other thing is I became a member of a great community. So the Bad Batch, and I gotta say thank you guys. That was awesome to accept me. But you guys, and I joke a lot, but you guys are seriously, you guys sharing the videos and all stuff like that. You actually, I mean, not only did you make me feel good, but you made me look good, because since I've done the videos with my new store that I work at, every video I've done, the books have sold out.
Nice.
So I have to thank you guys and all shit like that, because I was only getting maybe 200-300 views. But since going to you guys, it's like I said, 1,000, 1,200, 1,500. So I owe it all to you guys, and thank you for supporting,
man.
You know, this very good-looking guy. So I appreciate you.
It's always good to hear a comic shop selling out of all their shit books.
Yes,
you know.
Damn.
Clip it.
Still on his villain arc.
Clip it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing tonight.
Oh, that one's actually good.
You clip this show, you have a whole nother show.
I know. We need to run this through an AI fucking program and see what it spits out, dude.
Yeah, but you guys got to get this.
That one's good. I know I've been talking shit about those EC books lately, but those are good.
Yes, I know.
That one's good. That one's good.
Yes. Yeah.
Abel, thank you so much for being here, man. It's always a pleasure to talk time travel movies with you, especially Van Damme. You were there for our biggest movie review ever. Jelani wasn't.
Jesus.
What you got coming up, my man?
Hey,
said we can't go off the rails.
Never mind. I was gonna say something.
This is all scripted.
Yeah. Beep boop beep.
Blame Fable every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, with all these people that you see here.
Yes, sir.
Give or take a person, man. We had a lot of fun. Last episode, we made a small tribute to our fellow comic book community member that passed away, Jennifer. It was a great show. We had such a good time. And like Spilio said, we also are experiencing a little bit of success. We've had 2 back-to-back shows that are live that passed 200. I only have 300 subs, so that's like a third of my subs. You know,
That's
they say
awesome,
engagement
That's 2/3.
is
Keep
worth
going,
more
man.
than subs. So
Doing
you know, I'm sure it'll be down now in the 3rd episode since I said that. But this Friday, man, and of course all the stuff that we do here at PCP, whether it's PCP movie night, Blood Splatter Chatter, Go Figure reviews, Ink and Insights, Castle's Corner, man. It's all great, man. Check us out.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
If you need a good topic to help use those numbers, though, Van Damme's ass.
There you go.
On this one, all you have to do, well, I don't know how you do it. You could just do fork, marry, kill. That's it, man. This thing will hit 1 million by tomorrow.
We'll see. I am going to clip that out, though. It's too good to be true. Brooks, thank you so much for being here. Final thoughts, my man.
Just give me that gold, please.
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 I love that they found like the most hick-looking dude from the future to send back to steal the computer.
Yes.
Dude's like missing 2 teeth.
Yep.
Like, we send that motherfucker back. They'll buy him.
That tells you about our future dental plan.
All right. Next week, Van Damme, December ends and the PCP Movie Night 2024 season ends with one of the greatest films of all time. We're going to be talking about Street Fighter. The movie's so nice. This is the twice we've covered it. We're going to This will be the second time that we've reviewed this film. I really like the film. It's really dumb and it's really bad, but it's pretty fucking awesome. So I'm really excited. So that's next week for Street Fighter. Everybody be here for that. It's going to be a fun conversation, and we got a great killer lineup for PCP Movie Night coming in 2025. You'll find out that lineup, the beginning of it, at Rockin' Robbie Live on Sunday night. Anyway, and for my official final thought. I mean, I think this is going to be my final thought on every damn video we do now.
The way he looks.
Like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.